Okay, so here's going to be some technical information about making a moon jar. Some of these things are a little bit more advanced, so don't worry if you can't get it right away. So here I have the beginning of a moon jar started. I only used 2 pounds of clay for this because I didn't want to like wedge up a bunch of clay. So one key with making this, circular shape is you want to start with a cylinder, and the reason for that is you want all of your clay to be thrown before you start shaping it. Because what's going to happen is if you center your clay, open it up, and automatically start trying to get this round shape, it's going to collapse before you ever properly move all of that clay. It just can't support that. So I'm going to throw this cylinder shape to make sure all of the clay that I want to move has been moved before I start shaping it. That being said, I do leave some areas thicker and some areas thinner. The top is as thin as I want it to be when the pot is done, and it gradually gets thicker, and then at the bottom there's quite a bit of weight on here because it's a semicircle. Okay, I'll cut it open and show you. Hopefully it doesn't collapse. And I will say this is thrown a little thinner than I would throw if I were making this larger. Because it's only 2 pounds, it can be thinner. As you go up in size, you need your walls to be a little thicker just to support the weight. I absolutely hate doing this. Okay, so it did start to collapse. You can see I have it, I'm just gonna let that side go. I have it thinner at the top, and whatever this diameter is right now, this isn't gonna change. So this is the size it's gonna be when the pot is done. I'm not gonna touch the top as I'm shaping it, but you can see this gets thicker as it goes down. And that's so as I throw, I'm gonna push this out, and this is gonna stretch. And then there's gonna be weight down here to support. This is also gonna come this way. And then after everything's dry and I flip it upside down, I'll trim a foot in it, like here and here. And this is also why this technique is a little bit more advanced. So you really need to be able to read the clay and tell when it's right on that edge of collapsing. Also, not all clays are created equal for doing this. The clay I'm throwing with is Brooklyn Red, and honestly, it's not the best. It doesn't have as much strength for stretching. But basically, I'm just moving it out and widening it until it feels like it's all that the clay can take. I think that it is incredible practice for you to just do this and collapse clay again and again and again until you realize how much it can actually take. And it's going to be different depending on the clay, depending on how wet that clay is, depending on a lot of factors. But it's just going to improve your throwing, and you're going to become a really, really good thrower in the process.